Morning, Michael. How are we today?
I'm great. Elissa, how are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. What an awesome Sydney weather day. It's perfect out there. Finally some sunshine.
Finally.
Great day for our Q&A podcast.
It is a good day.
Let's do it.
Welcome everybody watching. Today is another episode of the Q&A podcast. I'm Elissa Hansen, Senior Designer at Little Marketing, and today I'm joined by Michael Kava, our Director. Today we're going to be answering some really great marketing questions we've received from lots of small business owners around Australia. Are you ready to dive into those?
Let's do it. Sight unseen. I like it. Quiz show. Let's go.
Our first question is from Sharon, and she's from Brisbane, which is in Queensland, Australia. Her business is candles, so in the candles industry.
Very competitive. Candles.
It is.
Do you buy candles, Liz?
All the time.
Do you?
Love them. Yeah.
They give me headaches. Like scented candles?
I just really enjoy walking to a nicely scented space personally, but...
There you go. Does your husband like them?
Probably not. As much as me, definitely. What are your thoughts? Her question is, What are your thoughts on discounts? She's tempted to do it, but she's not sure if it will do good or harm to her business.
Yeah. What's her name again? Sharon?
It's Sharon.
Do we know if she's a startup or an existing business or anything like that?
She hasn't said.
Okay. Sharon in the candles business in Brisbane. So I'm going to assume for this example or this question that Sharon is probably a year into her business, let's say. Again, I don't know, I'm just assuming. So let's use that as a scenario. So chances are that Sharon wouldn't have an established brand yet. So the question is, what does her candle brand stand for at the moment? So if she starts applying discounts from now and she's doing it all the time, she's going to be then known by her existing clients or potential new clients as a company that always discounts. So then people will always be looking for the discount from her brand.
So just waiting till things go on sale. Or
Correct. Like I do that with some products. You probably do as well.
Yeah, I do.
So then her profit margin drops, and then does her brand lose its? If she's trying to go for a premium nature of candles, then does that lose its fizz because she's always discounting, right? You look at the top brands, Apple never discounts, right? But then you look at retail brands like JB Hi-Fi, always on sales. Bunnings, lowest prices are just the beginning. So those brands are always positioning themselves as discount brands. For her, she needs to think about, does she always want to be a discount brand? Maybe she does. And people will always choose her because she's the cheapest candle maker or brand out there. And if that's fine, that means you then have to always be discounting and always have the lowest prices and be known for that. And that's okay. Just means you've got to sell more of them because you have less margin.
Okay, so just be mindful how often you go on sale.
Yeah, well, just be mindful. You may want to just be on sale all the time, which is fine. Then you'll be known as a discount candle brand, which is okay if you want to do that all the time. But it means you've got to sell a lot of product. Now, if you want to do sales intermittently through the year, so the standard like June sales or Cyber Monday, or what's the Friday one called? The online Friday sale? Black Friday. So if you want to do it at that point, I guess that's okay. But I'd be very cautious because once you get in the rut of discounting, then you've got to go whole hog and do it all the time because then people will just find an alternative.
Sure.
I hope that helps Sharon. Very competitive market, candles.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our next question is from Rob, and he's from Sydney, in Balmain specifically.
Yep.
He's in IT, and his question is, he's thinking of starting his own IT business to service people who work from home.
Yep.
What point in time should he be engaging in a marketing company?
Yeah, so IT, another competitive space, although he is talking about wanting to focus on people that are working from home.
Yes.
So again, I'm assuming that Rob is targeting business owners who work from home. I'm going to make that assumption. Again, Rob didn't give us too much info, but I'm assuming he'll target business owners that are working from home. Good market for that. There's a few service IT-based industries who will come out to your premises or to your home, I should say, to service you. So there's definitely a market in that. People are working from home, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what's his question?
So he's asking what point in time should he be engaging in a marketing company?
Yeah, sure. So if we look at who his business, who his clients are, so his audience, in this case it looks like small business owners. So he needs to think about what's his goal, like why does he want to do marketing? What's his goal? Is his objective to get new clients? So if he wants to get new clients and that's his objective of marketing, then he should probably start now.
Yeah.
So if he's starting out, have a bit of an online presence. Have a think about where are your clients going to be searching for your particular offering. Are they going to Google? Are they going to go to social media? I'm thinking in your case, Rob, they're probably going to either be referred by someone they know, they're probably going to be looking online for it, so maybe a Google search. And then what you can start to do, Rob, also, because IT is such a competitive industry, you want to reinforce that your focus is coming out to people's homes and servicing small businesses. Yeah. So if that's your point of difference, servicing people at home and focusing on small business, then make sure that you are communicating that offering over and over again, consistently, so people know what it is that you do and why you're different to the other 10,000 IT businesses that are out there.
Yeah.
And just be communicating that all the time.
Yeah, sure.
So start now, Rob.
Good advice. Our next question is from Christine, and she's from Concord in Sydney as well. And she's a vet. And her question is, between SEO and Google Ads, which one should she do or be focusing on?
Christine, is it?
Yeah.
Christine, excellent. So for everyone listening who doesn't know what SEO or Google Ads is, I might just explain it. So if you're a user and you go to Google and you type in, what is she, a vet?
She's a vet.
If you go in and you type in, vet practice in Sydney into Google, the results that Google give you, generally, the ones at the top, you'll see above each result, it will say the word like ad or sponsored. So that means that a business has created an ad to appear there when you search for their offering. Yeah. Now, the business pays for that ad only when someone clicks on the ad. Now, what they pay will depend on how competitive that industry is, how many people are searching, different factors. Yeah. So that's Google Ads. Now, she mentioned then SEO. So SEO is search engine optimization, which basically means if someone types again, vet practice in Sydney, the results that will appear under the ads or under the sponsored ads are what we call organic listings or organic rankings. So by doing search engine optimization works will help those rankings to get nice and high. So do you pay for good SEO? Indirectly, you don't pay Google, but you pay based on the work that you're doing to get those rankings. So what do I mean by that? I mean writing lots of content on your website, updating it regularly, using particular keywords within your content that people would be searching for, the tagging, and I'm not going to get too technical in the IT side of it, but doing things like page titles and all these types of things in the back end. So all that stuff, can you do all that on your own? Absolutely. Google it, find out how to do it. It'll take you a bit of time.
Yeah.
And the thing with search engine optimization is that from a Google perspective, it can take kind of 3 to 6 months to kick in to start to get your rankings high. Google Ads, it might cost you every time someone clicks on the ad, but the difference is you get a result immediately. What do I mean by that? If someone clicks on the ad and they go to your website, you've instantly got someone at your website.
Yeah.
So that getting people to your website will happen quicker with AdWords, but there's more of a, let's call it an upfront investment for that to happen. But it happens quicker.
Yeah.
So it's finding that balance. So in Christine's case, it's weighing up how urgent things, what's her investment look like, does she have time to do it herself, can she outsource it? So there's lots of factors to consider.
I imagine being a vet, you would be quite busy.
Say again?
I imagine being a vet, you would be quite busy.
Yes, so does she have the time to do all that herself? Does she need to outsource it? So there's a few things for Christine to consider. So probably without knowing her circumstances, I probably can't give an answer, but AdWords is, to summarize it, AdWords is more instant. It probably costs you more upfront. SEO, longer term, but you can probably draw out that investment over a period of time.
Okay, cool.
The other thing that Christine should know, bonus tip, is that if you're going to be doing SEO works or AdWords works, you want to make sure, and you're sending people to your website, you want to make sure your website looks fantastic.
Yeah.
So we know of someone, and from my team listening to this will understand who I'm talking about. We had a client who came to us who wanted to do all this activity to take him to a website which was just one page. So we had a one-page website, and it wasn't a great one-page website either. It was terrible. And he wondered why the activity that was happening to drag people to the website wasn't working.
Yeah.
Because his website was crap. So if you're going to invest in SEO or AdWords, firstly invest in getting your website, sending the right message and looking aesthetically pleasing. You want people to trust you when they go to your website. You want all the relevant information on there. If you're a vet, it's all about trust and being comfortable.
Yeah.
If you're building homes, you want the projects to look fantastic. So make sure you're sending the right message. Spend the time and the investment to get your website looking great first before you do the AdWords and SEO.
Yeah, 100%.
Thanks, Christine.
And we do see that quite a bit here, don't we? Having
Absolutely.
to explain to people the value of having a nice website and that works functionally and also looks good.
Yeah, because they'll invest the time in everything in getting people to the website, but if the website's crap, they're wasting that investment.
Yeah. Okay, our next question is from Andy, and he's from the Sutherland Shire in Sydney as well.
Shy boy, yep.
Yes. And he's in the waterproofing industry. So his question is, he's just starting out with his brother and he has no budget for marketing, but he does know that he needs to do it in some shape or form.
Mm-hmm.
And with a $5,000 budget, how does he best spend that in marketing?
Waterproofing business in Sydney. So waterproofing's quite broad. So he wasn't specific, was he? No,
just waterproofing.
Okay, so what I would do, Andy, is let's pretend that you're going broad. The first thing I would say to you is, and your budget's $5,000. Let's not worry about the budget for the second.
Okay.
Here's some free advice for you. You don't have to spend any money. Have a think about who are you targeting from a waterproofing business. So, for example, are you going into someone's home and waterproofing their bathroom?
Yeah.
So, if that's the case, who's your audience? Is it the homeowner or is it the bathroom builder or the builder of the home? So, who do you want to be communicating to? So, have a think about who your core target audience should be, because the motivations that a builder has and the motivations that a homeowner has are very different.
Yeah.
So the words and how you communicate to those two audiences is very different. So that's the first thing I think about, who's your audience. Second thing is, who do you actually want to be, like what type of projects do you want to work on? Do you want to work on homes? Do you want to work on industrial estates where there's a new industrial estate being built with 50 assets on the block and you could be doing the commercial waterproofing for that whole entire project, which could be worth a couple of $1 million to you, versus waterproofing a bathroom might be $5,000.
Yeah.
So, Andy, have a think about what type of projects do you want to be working on? Why do I say that? Again, like the way that you communicate to your target audience, how you're going to communicate to attract those type of projects will be very different as well. So how you're going to communicate to a home builder or a mum and dad will be different again to how you're going to communicate to a project manager of a building company that's building 50 industrial assets on a site. Yeah. So again, very different. So it's making sure that you are, and we use this word a lot, if everyone's watched any of our videos or podcasts, we talk about positioning. So how are you positioning your brand and your business, Andy, in the minds of your potential customers, whether it's big builders, small builders, mums and dads? How are you positioning your waterproofing business in the minds of your customers that is different to the competition? That's the key. So figure that out before you invest any of your $5,000. So how do we think about how you're going to position yourself? You want to think about who's your target audience, what is your core offering or the type of projects you want to be working on, where are you going to focus in on that? So for you, Andy, it might be the Sutherland Shire, and for what is that level of experience, and can we communicate that level of experience to your audience? So I hope that helps, Andy. So and then when you're communicating, to make sure that you're getting the $5,000 best bang for your buck, communicate that positioning and why you're different over and over again.
Sure.
So where you're going to spend the $5K would depend on who your audience is and what type of project you're going to be working on, Andy.
So you can't really answer specifically
Well,
without knowing those.
Well, what I would say is firstly, like, you want a bit of an online footprint. So most people are going to be searching online. So can you get a website done? If you're going to go and speak to a project manager within a building company, they may want to see like a capability document. Can you create that yourself or get someone to help you to do that? So that's a nice physical tool to be able to have. Set up some basic socials. At least you've got a bit of a presence.
Yeah.
People want to trust you. So if you can have a bit of an online presence, I reckon on that small budget, you might be able to find someone who can help you to do all those bits and pieces.
Yes, very good.
Not little marketing though, for that budget. Sorry, Andy.
Okay, our next question is from Dan, and he is from Melbourne.
Go
and
Dan.
he's in a fit out company or fit out business.
Fit outs, okay.
His question is that he's listened and watched a few of your videos.
Thanks, Dan.
And you speak a lot about positioning.
Oh.
He's struggling to find out how his fit out company is different from the rest out there. So are there any tips you can give Dan to find out what his point of difference is?
Yep.
And what does he do after finding the point of difference?
Lots of questions there, Dan. So Dan is in Melbourne and he's a fit out company.
Yeah.
We don't know what type of fit out. No.
But
Okay, so in Dan's scenario, let's pretend that Dan is a fit out company for retail outlets, let's say. So he wants to know how to best position himself. So actually, in the answer that we just gave to, who was the person before Dan?
To Andy.
To Andy. So we spoke about thinking about positioning 4 key areas. Who's your target audience? So really communicate that. Where do you offer that location? So for Dan, it's Melbourne. And maybe there's a particular suburb within Melbourne that he wants to focus on in terms of his fit outs. What is that core offering? So if it's retail fit out and that's his focus and expertise, communicate the hell out of that, Dan, and then think about what level of expertise are you bringing to that. So does the team have, cumulative, 20 years of experience, or have you been doing it for a long time? Are you a leader in your field? So communicate that. So actually, I just had an idea. So in our book, Dan, we talk about positioning. So on page, I'm going to go to the index.
You don't know the page?
I don't know the page, Elissa. All right, page 1. Read the whole book, Dan. But 144, that's the house number that I grew up in. 144 talks about, ready for this, Dan? Here's some questions to ask yourself if you've missed it or haven't already read it so far in this book, in regard ways to stand out. Should we read them out for Dan?
How many are there?
There's 10. Yeah, we can read them out. Think about your service or product that you provide. What do you do different or better than your competitors? Who is your audience? Where do you provide your offering? So I think the 4 that we just spoke about. Then there's some extra ones. What do you think that makes you different to the competition, Dan? Why do your clients come back to you or remain loyal to you? That's if you've got any clients already. What reasons have clients told you that they chose your business in the first place? What can give your business credibility and provide social proof? How can you become an expert in your field? And can your point of difference and how you position yourself in the minds of your customers and clients different to the competition be based on, and these are the 4 that I said, product or service offering, target audience, location, or maybe a combination of all those 3. So yes, marketing is a battle of the mind, Dan. So think about all those things. Be focused in your communication. And I'll finish off with this. Is that our last question?
That's the last one.
I'll finish off with this. So 4 key ways to make your marketing effective, Dan. 1, find that positioning that we just spoke about. 2, communicate it and don't waver from that message. 3, communicate it frequently, as often as possible. And 4, Dan, do it more than your competitors. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. No more questions?
That's it.
Perfect. Do you reckon that was helpful?
I think so. Hopefully the listeners got a lot out of those.
Excellent.
So thanks so much.
Thanks, Liz. Thanks for everyone that wrote those in. Hoping that was of use. Make sure everyone follows, subscribes, and all those fun things. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Liz.
Thanks so much.
Cheers.